San Jose is considering charging you if you call for a first responder, police, ambulance, paramedics, fire, what have you. And it's mostly because people are expecting you to, or the government, to take care of their ride or their ride to the hospital, or them to take care of it. And it's a way to offset it. And there's an urban myth saying that there's an understanding that if you do call the fire department, you get a charge, whether you put out a fire or what have you, and then the fire department charges you or the insurance company. I think that's how that works. That's an urban myth. Now, I don't know if it works or not. I don't know if San Jose does it because I've never called the fire department, never had to. I call 911 if I see an emergency on the road. That's it, right? If I hurt myself, I've never hurt myself, knock on wood, I take myself to the hospital and check in and let them take care of me. I had a hernia, popped out, I went there and they took care of me. I was in pain, still figured out how to do it. So is this fair? It's fair to the ones who abuse it or use it consistently. Oh my God, I think I'm having a heart attack. Okay, yeah, you need to take care of yourself, but also get yourself to the hospital. Don't wait, right? If you're alone, I get it, right? If you're alone and you're falling and you can't get up, I get it. But they're going to start charging you for $427 for emergency medical care. Now, this is still in the works. This isn't absolute. But here's the thing. I don't know. I started reading it. Here's the thing. If you're going to use it, you're really having a heart attack and you fall and you can't get down or get back up and you're by yourself, call them, right? Call them. Look, this is just a way for them to offset the cost of coming to your house and taking care of it. $427 is not going to cover the whole call, because if they bring out the entire fire department, one truck and 10 guys to take care of your broken hip, that's a waste of energy. They should have a paramedic that comes out with a pair of people to come out and get you to the hospital, right? There's stories all over the internet, and I don't know if they're true or not because it's the internet, that people call the fire department or what have you because they think they have a heart attack or a stroke and it's just heartburn, right? If you have a heartburn and you think you're going to can make it to the hospital, get your ass to the hospital, right? You live next to a hospital, I get it. Now, if you're out in the country, totally different world. If you're old and disabled, I totally get it. But if you're using it and abusing it, overusing it and abusing the system, then you should be charged, because you're abusing my tax dollars. What say you? Tell me if I'm fair or not. There you go. Okay, FHA rescinds mortgage appraisal policies, and I hadn't had the chance to read this, but back in the last administration, there were certain policies aimed to help counter bias for anything, right? I don't know why they would do this, right? Withdraw appraisal review guidelines that were used by the U.S. Department of Housing Urban Development. The changes are meant to streamline the appraisal process by removing a layer of oversight. Shame on you. The Trump administration withdrew the 21 mortgage letter clarifying the requirements for appraisals and mortgages to align with fair housing laws and appraisal process. We have the appraisal process in action because of certain sins that we were committing on the whole back in 2008. Dodd-Frank, look it up, right? It's all about making sure that it's unbiased. When I present offers, I have a spreadsheet. I have a spreadsheet, and I have the amount they're offering, and it's Offer 1, offer 2, offer 3, offer 4, offer 5, could be 25, right? Typically nowadays it's about 4 or 5. They put the offer price, how much down, contingencies, days to close, which bank, which agent, but I don't put in the buyer's name. Why? Well, because that could imply bias, right? I don't care who you are buying a house. It doesn't matter to me. It's a business transaction. And my job is to get the most money for my sellers. And if it has anything to do with the name or the ethnicity, I'm out, right? I don't play that game. I take away all bias. Now, could that seller go in and say, I don't like dealing with, greasy Italians? I'm not going to sell my house to some Dago Guinea Vito Scarnecchia because he's an Italian. They can go into the offer 1, where it says offer 1 on that tab. It's linked to the offer, so they can go in and take a look at it. But for me, I don't present it that way. I present it so that there's zero bias on who is buying that house. It's got to be fair, right? I don't care. The color of money is green. That's the way I've always seen it. Always. Biden administration attempted to expand HUD's existing ROV, whatever that is, process to include Borough-initiated ROV requests. Let's see what we can see. Reconsideration of value. Yeah, here's the thing. If an appraiser comes in and says your house is worth $1 million and you put in 1.2, well, there's a $200,000 discrepancy. And it's your job as the buyer to come at it and say, this is how I'm going to rectify it. And if you have zero contingencies, including one specific line that says appraisal contingency, well, then you're stuck having to buy that house at 1.2. Now, you can totally back out. You'd lose your deposit, right? Or you can ask the seller to meet halfway, or you can adult up and put that $200,000 into the down payment and cover that delta, the discrepancy. So I think this is good. I think it's good that we're doing this, because when you do this and you don't, then you spread it out and you beg and plead the appraisal to come in and maybe take another look at it. You have the right to have another appraiser look at this, at your house that you're buying. You have absolutely that right, but you're going to pay for it. So just keep that in mind. Download this inspection checklist. That's all I'm going to say. This is what it looks like. It's just a downloadable file. You can look at it anytime you want. We'll get to that tomorrow. I wanted to look at highs and lows. It's not $85 million, Vito. It's 8.5. We sold a house at $8.5 million this week. Came in at 100%. We're going to take a look at these real quick. And then the highest list price to sales price ratio is 165% over original list price. Let's take a quick look. Which one is it? It's 96. This one right here. That's not it. This one? No, it's this one right here. White Pines. No, that one came in at 81%. See, I had to change some stuff and I messed up. There it is. House listed at $1 million. 999,888. Now, this goes to prove my point, guys. Buyers will pay what the house is worth. It doesn't matter what you list your house at, period. It does not matter what you list your house at. Buyers and buyers agents, good ones, will do a comparable market analysis and say this price is over or underpriced. This house is underpriced for what it is. This is what the house should go for on this. And then what you do is you attract a ton of offers, and then you negotiate and negotiate and negotiate until there's one standing. And this one went to 165% over list price. There you go. And it's nothing special, right? There's nothing special about this house. They staged it up, they painted it, they put new lighting in there. But look, it's a boring little bungalow house. There's no reason it should have sold for 1.6. This thing should have sold for 1.4. But when you do the strategy that works, the strategy that's in place, and I talked about it last week because some buyers were complaining about it. Yeah, you know what? That's the way the system works. I'm sorry that it works this way, but that's just the way it is. It's a system that's been designed. It's been working for 125 years, and it maximizes the return on investment for the sellers. When you have blind auction, blind bidding, you get an option to check in and put your best foot forward and then work with the top ones. And if you don't cut it, then you don't cut it. But sometimes a good listing agent will come back to all the buyers and say, hey, this is where we are. You need to come up. A lot of times they're like, oh, no. I'm sorry. That's my budget. It was $1 million. Well, you didn't do a CMA, comparable market analysis, and you didn't do the right thing. So why did you waste your time signing offers for a house that really should have sold for 1.5 to 1.6? Here you go. And those are the numbers right there. All right, that's enough for now. Thanks for watching. I'm Vito with Avatano. We'll see you out there.